program. This is the module on Microsoft PowerPoint. This is lesson 3.2, how to use the insert feature part 2. In the previous video, you have seen how to use most of the features of insert. So for example, how to insert a table, how to insert a picture, how to insert online pictures, how to insert a text box, comment, how to insert an equation, video, audio, etc. We have also seen how to insert shapes. So that's what also we have seen. Now in this video, we are going to look at how to insert a smart art. Now, for example, let's say that I want to create a flow chart. I'll just give you a simple example. Let's say that we want to create a flow chart here. Fine. So this is step A, right? Step 1. Okay. Now I will create an arrow here which will lead to step 2. Right? Okay, fine. So that's great. So this is step 2. Now, so this is a typical, flowchart diagram. I can add as many shapes as I want. I can, I can position it anywhere that I want. So this is how, different shapes which are connected by different lines, different arrows. This is how I would represent my thoughts. For example, first there is step 1. After the completion of step 1, there will be a step 2. So this is how I would express my thoughts in a PowerPoint presentation. Now, this is very, very manual, right? Now, just imagine that there are some templates, some designs which are already created by Microsoft Word, keeping in mind the most common requirements of the users. This is called a smart art. Now, let's look at the smart arts. So, in smart arts, you can have pre-designed templates for all these things, for listing, for process, for cycle, for hierarchy, for relationship, for matrix, pyramid, picture. And okay, so let's see one by one. For example, if you have 3 to 4 points that you want to mention to your audience, okay, so let's just look at how will you mention these points. Fine. So let's say that you want to say that my name is, okay, let's say first law, second law, third law, and fourth law, right? So these are the 4 things that you want to tell to your audience. Now you can put a bullet point in here. Fine. This is what you can show to your audience. Fine. Now tell me one thing. Does this look appealing? Does this look beautiful? Does this look visually appealing to you? I think that it does not, right? So what we need to do, there is a fantastic feature which is called smart art. So we'll try and use some smart art. Let's look at lists. By the very word list, it indicates that whatever points you have in mind, you can list them in different types of figures. This is the common meaning of list, right? So let's look at one. So let's say we click on this. Fine. So let's say you have first law. So all you need to do is just click on that, insert the smart art, and just start typing in here. You don't need to take care of the design. You don't need to take care of the font size, the color, etc. It will be coming automatically. You don't need to think, okay, where should I put this box? Where should I put that box? Everything is taken care of automatically. So let's look at third law. Then we have fourth law, right? Then we have the fifth law, if you want. Now, if you want to increase something, then you can just, let's say, this is how it would look like. So you can just click on this arrow here, and then this box would open. You can click on fifth law and then press enter. So you can add, let's say, as many boxes as you want. So let's say sixth law. Fine. So this is what you can do, and just either close this or you can just press this arrow. So, I mean, this looks much better, right? This looks much better. Now, as soon as you double click on this, you will have a range of colors. So you can change the colors as well. For example, you can change it to like this. And this is fantastic. Now, under list, you remember the smart art under list. Under list, you will have a lot of other features. For example, you can either list it according to this, or you can list it like this. See, this is amazing. Or you can list it like this. This is fantastic. In most of my presentations, which I have made for my company, even my previous company when I was working as a consultant, I have used smart arts like these. See, look at this. This is also fantastic, right? This looks fantastic. I mean, look at the coloring, look at the font size. Then we can have something like this. All you need to do is just click on any figure that you want and you can just type in, right? You just need to know. Again, so let me tell you one thing very straight. This is creativity. This is the creativity of the person who's making the presentation. Now, first of all, you need to have the exact idea of what you want to present. Now, once you have the exact idea of what you want to present, you can select the design. So this work is just like the work of a director. You remember in movies, what happens is the actor will only act in a way in which the director tells the actor to. Fine. So the director has in his mind all the creativity. Okay, that this is how the scene will start, this is how it will move, and this is how it will progress. This thing will appear in this particular place. So in your mind, if you're making a presentation, you should have all these things ready. So this will help you in choosing the right type of template, right type of smart art for your thoughts. See, you should also remember this thing very carefully, that ultimately these smart arts are there for the understanding of the audience. The audience will see these things and then they will understand what you want to convey. So you have to keep this thing clearly in your mind, that this has to be, let's say, visually appealing to the audience, and the audience should clearly understand what you want to convey. Fine. So these are the different listing things which you can have. So for example, this is one beautiful listing thing wherein you can not only put your points, but you can also include a picture in here. Fine. If you click on that, you would be getting some pictures. So let me just, you can either search online or you can have from a file. So let's see if we can include something from a file here. From a file means something which is stored on your desktop. This is what is meant by that. So let's see if I have something from my desktop here. Okay. So I'm sure that I have some pictures here. So let's just put my picture in here. You can see my picture in here. So you can insert any pictures and this would look fantastic, right? So this is what is there in listing. Fine. Okay, so let's just look at some other smart arts. We'll go to insert again, we'll go to smart art and we'll go to process. Now process is also very interesting. Now you remember I mentioned step 1, step 2 and step 3. Now instead of that, if I just have this, just click on this, you would get something like this. Step 1, step 2 and step 3. So in, let's say, 10 seconds, I have created a smart art. I mean, if you just double click on this, you can change the colors and this looks fantastic, right? You can just reduce it, right? You can do this, or you can change the font size, you can change the font color as well. Okay, so again, this is fantastic, right? So let's look at some of the other smart arts in the process category. So you can also put in something like this. Just click on this. It looks amazing, right? You can have something like this as well. You can have something like this as well. So there are many smart arts available in the process as well. So for example, this looks really amazing. To me, again, as a person who has made a lot of presentations during the 5 years of corporate experience, I have used a lot of these smart arts. Earlier in the, let's say in the earlier versions of Microsoft PowerPoint, most of these smart arts did not exist, but I mean, Microsoft has clearly moved a lot ahead as far as smart arts are concerned. So you can use a lot of these smart arts. I mean, you just need to select. I mean, you just need to be very clear in your mind about what you want to use, right? You can have anything. For example, this is a very good design. Again, this is a good design, right? It shows, again, this is a good design. So you can have a lot of good designs, and so basically that should suit your creativity. Let me just show you one thing more. This is amazing, right? This is clearly amazing. So you can have this and you can insert a picture here, right? So let's say step. We'll search a picture for step. So by the way, this is being online, so you need to be online for that, right? So let's insert this picture here. Just click on that and just press enter. So this is step 1, right? This is fairly easy, fine. So you have a picture and you have a heading as well. So the audience will not only see the text, but it will also see the picture. So this is how the smart art on is inserted, right? Then we have cycle. So for example, step 1 to step 2 leads to step 3, and then step 3 again goes back to step 1. So this is a cycle. So you can insert these things in a similar fashion, right? So see, look at this. This is a cycle. This leads to this, this leads to this, this leads to this, this leads to this. You just need to click on the text, or you can click here. You can try and add some more things, some more circles if you want. You can just delete it as well, fine. So it depends upon you, and if you double click on that, see, the thing is you can change individually, or you can double click on the entire box and you can change the whole thing automatically. It will get changed automatically, right? So this is a beautiful feature about this particular thing. Okay, so fine. Let's look at some of the other smart arts which are interesting. We have we have hierarchy. In hierarchy, for example, so this is a typical hierarchical smart art wherein, let's say, we have the CEO of a company, right? And then we have the CFO of a company, and then we have manager A, and we have manager B, then we have manager C. So this, I mean, just figure this out. I mean, if we did not have the smart art, I would have to first of all insert this. Then I would have to insert all the boxes. Then I would have to insert all these lines and then arrange it properly. It would take about 3-4 minutes for me to do all this stuff. But with smart arts, it's just a matter of, let's say, 5 seconds or 10 seconds. It's not more than that, right? So smart art is a very, very simple mechanism of inserting any any type of figures or charts. So again, so you can have a lot of pre-designed templates, pre-designed things. So you can choose accordingly. Whatever you want, you can choose, right? Everything is possible here. Fine. See, you have the CEO, and then have all these people reporting to the CEO. And this is possible, fine. So if you want, you can have, let's say, you can see clearly CFO here. Now, if you just type an enter, go to CFO and just type an enter, you will have another person which is under CEO. But if you want somebody who's under CFO, just click on tab. There is this tab button just above caps lock. You just need to type, press tab, TAB, tab. When you press tab, then it will automatically be reporting. So let's say person A reports to CFO, correct? Similarly, you can have, let's say, if you want, you can have another person reporting to manager A. So let's say person B. So person B reports to manager A. So again, you can do a lot of combinations in this. Okay. So let's look at some more interesting smart arts, which is relationship. I mean, relationship, for example, how many types are there? Whether they are converting or diverging, reverse lists, hexagonal cluster, opposing ideas. So all these things can be there. For example, let's say you have 3 or 4 components of a particular system, right? So let's say you have 3 systems. You have 3 processes. The first process is this, process 1. This is process 2. And this is process 3, right? So you can have, let's say, you can represent this in any fashion that you want. For example, like this. Here you would need to have 4 processes. Here you can only do with 3 processes. Right here you can have 3 processes. Again, here you can have 1 process. So basically what you would need to do is, you would need to first of all align what kind of picture do you want and what type of smart art is available for that. So again, this is very, very interesting. So you would just need to insert any of these smart arts and find it out for yourself. Matrix, again, so it is a point of representation. For example, if you have, let's say, 4 points to make, let's say if I say that India is composed of 4 states, so you can represent like this. You can represent something like this. Let's say Maharashtra, you can have Gujarat, or you can have, let's say, Haryana, and then you can have Delhi, right? So I mean, if want something like this, you can do this, or if you want, you can also insert something like this. You can insert something like this. Fine. So this is the smart art. This is the smart art on the matrix. Fine. Now let's look at pyramids. Now pyramids are something which are really interesting. Now let's first of all delete this. Now when you talk about pyramids, what happens is, let's say, first of all, there are three things. Let's talk about the intelligence level of students in your class. Now there are many people who score, students who score below 70, right? Below 70. So if you see this base here, how does a triangle look? The triangle is wide at the base and it goes tapering as one goes up, right? So this shows that there are many students. If this is one category, there are many students who are in this particular category, and in the category which is above this, there are lesser number of students, and as you approach the top, there are far lesser number of students. So this is what is represented by a pyramid. So let's say that there are students who score below 70. You would be having, let's say, about 60% of the students who score below 70. Then students who score between, let's say, 71 to 85, right? So you can have, let's say, some number of students, and above 85, you would clearly have, let's say, 5 students or 6 students who score over 85. So this is a pyramid structure, wherein you would have a lot of students who score below 70, some lesser number of students who score between 71 and 85, and even a far lesser number who score above 85. So this is how you represent this particular data. So the audience will have a clear idea. Okay, fine. So this number is huge, this number is lesser, and this number is very, very less. Fine. So this is how you have, let's say, a pyramid. You can have an inverted pyramid also, wherein you can show inverted pyramids as well. So basically, this is another form of representation. Fine. You can have something like this as well if you want. So it depends upon you what kind of smart arts do you want to insert. Fine. So we have seen this, all these particular things. Picture is simply let's say you insert this particular kind of thing, and you are basically trying to insert pictures here. Fine. So you can insert a lot of pictures here. Fine. So these are pre-designed templates wherein you can insert a lot of pictures. Fine. So the thing that I'm trying to say here is that this is how you use smart arts. The only thing which is important to remember here, especially during smart arts, is that first of all, you should have your ideas very, very clear. Your ideas which you want to clearly communicate to the audience. Once you have that, you can decide upon the design. And instead of building a design from scratch, you can use a smart art. And you have to, let's say, wisely use your smart art. List, process, cycle. There are some definite purposes. For example, if you have some 3 or 4 points which you want to list as bullet points, instead of bullet points, you can use the smart art on list. If you have processes, for example, process A, process B, process C, process C. So you can have smart arts for process. If you have a cycle, again, you can use smart arts for this. Hierarchy, relationship, pyramid. So you can use a lot of smart arts in this particular fashion. And when you insert a smart art, you can individually change the font size, the font color, the font type of the boxes, of the text, or you can change the entire smart art by just double clicking on this, and then you would be having 2 separate tabs here. One is design and the other is format. You just need to select. I mean, you don't need to change anything manually, right? And you can enlarge the size of the smart art, and you can decrease the size of the smart art as well. So this is all that we have for the usage of smart arts. And in the next video, friends, we will show you how to use charts. So basically, there are lots of charts available on PowerPoint, but we would be showing about how to use 4 or 5 most commonly used charts. Fine. So this is all that we have for this video. Thank you so much for listening to this. Thank you.